All right. Hey, it's Matt back BlindGuysGarage. So last time you saw me, we were knocking pistons in this motor, getting it ready to go. I was going to get ready and tape off the block, prime it, all that good stuff. Nope, not what we're doing, as you already probably know if you saw the last one. So here's what we've done so far. We have pulled all the pistons back out of the motor, so you can see it's naked except for one. This one, we pulled the rings off of him, and we're about to check the rod clearances on the side of the piston. So I'm going to try to do this in the best motion I can for you. So when you roll this baby over, you'll see the block's been clearanced right here. I don't know how good we can see that. It's not that bad. Well, what I do is I take a zip tie and I'll lay in the wherever we clearance are at, wherever we think it's going to have the most clearance issues. Oop, hold on. There we go. Let's do it this way. So there we go. We'll layer where we think we're going to have the most clearance issues, and we'll roll the crankshaft over. Here we go. And you'll see that right there where we have the most clearance issues, we've got plenty of room, and there's plenty of zip tie movement. Now, we're going to roll the crank over this direction. You can hear it touch already. All right, now we're on the other side of the motor, and you'll see I got me a zip tie stuck in here. Well, when I say stuck in here, it's actually stuck, see? We don't even have zip ties with the clearance right there between the bottom of the cylinder wall and the rod. So we'll have to get a grinder, go in here and clean up that. I'll show you on the back side. Okay, if you look right here, let's see if I can move my hand. If you look right here, there's a small notch in the bottom of the cylinder wall. That's where the rods are touching. Every single one of them on the opposite side. So it's hard to see on this side without my hand being in the way. Let's move to the next hole. Right here is where the rods are trying to touch at. So, right there. So we'll have to go in with a grinder and clean this up just a little bit. Grind maybe 1/16 of an inch out of it, but that should be enough to get her good and clear. And I'll also clean up some of this cast flash that it's got right here, right in here, that I don't like while I'm in there. So it doesn't hurt us any to go in here and do this. And then I'm going to go ahead and nick these sides over here as well on these, because it's a little soft right there too. And it could use just a little clearance, and I could get all this, once again, all this cast flash out of here. So let's do it. All right. Well, disassembling it comes apart real fast, doesn't it? So we haven't been working that long. Now I can show you a little better what I was talking about. If you look right here, you'll see some little small spots. These are the spots we're reclearancing in here. So here and here. In the next hole, of course, you got this one right here has been machined a little bit for the crank to clear. And then we got to clearance this right here just a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and clean up all these burrs while we're in here, because there's a lot of burr in right here. So we'll clean that up. Matter of fact, I'm sure they did that for the counterweight of the crank to fit through there. I bet they did. So then we got this spot right here, which look, they clearanced out right there. You can see that. And you got this one right here is going to be clearanced back some, so we'll just roll that on over in. And the same thing right here, we'll clearance this section right here, and then right here. It's a lot of meat right there, isn't it? Probably not gonna mess with that. I might roll it just to make it smooth. And then same thing right here, clearance in this spot right here. All right, let's get to work. All right, I'd like to take a quick brief intermission on the current project we're working on, just to ask y'all to like, share, subscribe, and leave us a comment on the videos, as it helps the channel grow and lets me know what y'all like and don't like about the videos. As well as when you leave a comment, I'm guaranteed to reply, because I reply to every comment left in the videos. So there you go. Let's now return to our current project. All right, well, covered up in grease and grime, and yeah, I'm sorry, I'm tired. It's late, but I wanted to get this done because the whole family's been sick, and I'm afraid I'm going to be the one to go down next when I wake up. Got a little bit of a scratchy throat, so let's get back to it. So here we go. My machining tools aren't quite as precise as theirs, so you can see right here there was a cast flash. I cleaned up all the cast flash here. And then we cleaned up this area right here. I left a small tiny bump. I might have to come back and clean that back up. And kind of the same thing all the way across. Everything's still real dirty. This had a really, really rough cast flash. I just cleaned it up till it was nice and smooth. So let's move my cellular phone so you might actually be able to see it, what we're talking about here. Same thing here. This had some really, really rough cast flash. So I cleaned all the cast flash up, and here's where I clearanced it right there. Same thing. It's the same way all the way across. So like I said, my machining tools aren't quite as precise as theirs. When I say not as precise, talking a grinder with a deburring bit, and I'll bring a polishing bit behind it once I've laid the crank back in and checked everything, make sure we're all gooder. So for now, what we're going to do is brake clean it out and brake clean all the cylinder walls out. We're not going to put a camshaft or anything in it, so I'm just going to brake clean the cylinder walls out, make sure the bearing holes are clean, and set the crank back in it, roll it up enough to check a piston or two. Alright, I'm probably a little dirty. I know my hands are. Well, second time having the crank out. Move this. This is the second time having the crank out. My first round was pretty good, pretty successful. Every rod on the passenger side bank needed just a bit more clearancing. So now I'm in here doing that. I've done all but like one hole. And I'm really done with this one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you in with the camera and kind of show you what I do. Like I said, I'm not fantastic at this. I only do it when I have to. I don't do it a lot. So no, I don't really suggest doing it my way. It does work. But, you know, I'm not upset about it. I'm just like, eh. And it also gave me a chance to clean up some of the cast flash that was really ugly down here on number 7, hold on. 6. So, yeah, so that's real good. I actually am happy about that because I wasn't going to mess with it. And I was like, I don't like it, but I'm not going to mess with it. Well, got the grinder out, so might as well go for it. So now let's set you up and show you what this looks like. Alright, like I said before, I don't know how much you'll be able to see, but I'll start right here. We're just going to clear it back just a little bit farther and get some of this rough out of here. So I got it just a little too rough in here when I was grinding. And just clean her up a little bit, and I'll go across right here, and we'll roll this one out just a fudge. Not much. You don't need a lot. You just need a little bit. There's one little cast bump right here I'm going to take care of while I'm in there. So, like I said, I'm not sure what you'll be able to see and what you won't be able to. Let's get to it. So what I do is I run my grinder in here like so, and I'll use my hand on the back side of the grinder to support everything, and we're just going to roll this bead off. So here we go. So we got most of that cleaned up. We should be pretty good. I'm going to roll just a little bit farther right here because it's not quite low enough. And then we'll come back and hit the casting right there. So let's see, right here. Alright, now I'm going to just run the lip down the line with a slow bit of speed, and then I'll knock off the lip. There you go. Knocks off all the cast flash and the lip right there. And we'll do the same thing on the cylinder wall side. And there's that. I'm going to double check this side here. Alright, here's what you know. I do spray this stuff down. So I'll spray it down with a coat of brake clean just to knock off the big layer. Then we'll come back with the air hose and blow the rest of the trash out. Now this won't get it all out in this case, but we will take it out and we'll wash it with the hose, which I don't really want to do. But that's what we're going to do this time. Alright, there it is. Block clean enough to set the crank back in. We'll put a little bit more oil back down again on these bearings and set the crank back in place. I'm not gonna show you any of that. And we'll check a couple clearances. And once we've checked a few, I will bring you in and show you what we do to check the clearances. If I hadn't already showed you already, honestly, I can't remember. And I know that wasn't that long ago. Well, I say it wasn't that long ago. When I started doing this clearance and stuff 3.5 hours ago. So yeah, it's been a minute. Alright, bring you back in a few. Alright, well, we'll bring you in to show you the clearances real quick, or at least on one of them. As I've checked all these here, and number 6, which is technically number 5 cylinder wall, the one that needs clearance, but the number 6 rod could still use just a smidge on the number 5 wall. And I'm probably going to do that just before I take it out there to pressure wash it and clean it real good. So I'm not going to do it right now either way. So having said that, let's take a look. So now, when you lean in here, can we see anything in here? Not really. It's not great. Let me see what I can do about that. Alright, and you see my zip tie right there? So now, all you do is you can kind of move your zip tie around. You can see there's plenty of clearance in there. He'll walk all the way around him on both sides with no problem. And then we'll get her back in place. Let's see here. It's a little tougher. I'm going through the lifter board so I can show you what we do here with the zip tie. Come on, there you go. Now you get her in place, and you'll see she'll just drop right out once we roll the block over. See, ready? And there she goes. So there's full clearance in there. We're good. So having said all that, I'm going to turn the light off. Having said that, this side's good. Minus, like I said, this one just needs just a touch more. I don't even really have to, but I'm gonna, because I gotta pull the crank back out anyway. So, not a big deal. Let's call it.